Truth be told, Charlene, insurance ni wezi. Insurance people ni wezi.
Uongo. No.
Welcome to the Truth Be Told podcast. Our goal is to make sure that we give you clear insights on what insurance is and to make sure that your financial well-being is taken care of.
Yes, and I'm so happy that we're doing this with Marley, a professional in the business, and I, Mama Bima, representing the intermediaries in the insurance industry. You can be sure that whatever you get from this table is real insights from the industry.
It's a complete circle. It's
yes.
You sell insurance.
Yes.
I've worked with the insurance business
yes.
For a while with the underwriters, the companies, and the goal is to make sure we are telling people the realities that are there about insurance, because
yes.
this industry we have a lot of myths.
Too many myths, and honestly, too much misinformation. Mm-hmm. And the saddest part, Marley, is that the people who are sort of like carving the conversations around insurance are actually not people who practice insurance.
Yes,
you get?
yes.
So they're out there saying, a phrase that you'll hear a lot of times, insurance is a scam.
Yes.
But from where I sit, from an intermediary or an agent who's able to help a family, get their medical bill paid in full after hospitalization.
Yes.
I sit and I'm like, really? That phrase is borderline. It actually hurts me to hear that. But you'll find someone say on social media saying that without, any feelings to it. Like insurance is a scam.
Crazy, and you and I think we've also kind of narrowed down to what is insurance. There are types of insurance that people know.
Yes.
We talk about motor insurance. We talk about medical insurance and maybe life insurance, which those are the popular insurance. But the scope is so wide.
So wide.
The number of people that have been saved just by having an insurance cover.
Yes.
Crazy.
Yes.
But we just limit ourselves to this. So I don't know, where do you think is it, from your experience as a sales person, as a sales agent of insurance, why is it that we have that notion?
One, Marley, a lot of us, especially professionals in the business, we've not taken up our rightful spaces like we are doing now.
Yes,
so I'm very proud of what we've just started.
Yes.
We've not taken up our rightful spaces within that conversation around protection planning.
Yes.
So we shied away from the social media spaces. We shied away from, going on to the primetime news and talking about, if there's a news article, on protection planning or the insurance industry, we just tend to stay away from the limelight. We are very comfortable just doing things behind the scenes. So of course other people will take over the opportunity and run with it.
So is it because we are satisfied, or because at 3% penetration or 2.5, is it that we are content? Is it that we are done? We just need our space. It's a niche product. It's our space. We are okay. We don't need the bigger population. Is that an issue of contentment?
We are not content at all. I think maybe we've also faced so much backlash. So sometimes, when you're out there trying to do your best, trying to impact people, and all the time you're bombarded, you're bombarded with all these, it almost feels like people are pushing back. So, you retreat, raise your hands, and you're like, okay, let it be. I'll just do what I can do within my own little space. But I think it's really time we take up these spaces. So I'm excited on what we'll be able to do through the TBT podcast to enlighten Kenyans, to educate, to bring industry stakeholders and thought leaders onto this table to just discuss more.
And be on the lookout for that, because we'll definitely host the movers and shakers of this business who are going to help us understand all these things. But Charlene, you mentioned when we go to the market already, we face some stigmas, we face a bad rap about what we are about. And some of it is true. True. Is insurance expensive? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
are we in the details? Because the devil in the details conversations where you have receive a whole policy document that is too many words.
Yeah.
Or ultimately someone purchases a cover and when they finally go to claim, which is what we sell, really, it's a service at the end of the day, they get denied. Or they're told that is not payable, or there's T's and I's and dots here and there.
Yeah.
So is that accurate? That some of it is true?
Yes, unfortunately so. Yeah. We're in an industry where it's mad, especially in the past, with a lot of mis-selling. But you know something, Marley? I think even from where you sit as maybe a pillar two kind of professional within the business, I'm talking of managerial, not joke or big timers. I think
thank you for that.
We can start to appreciate that the new crop of insurance professional, insurance agent, is an agent who loves to edify their clients. Is an agent who also realizes that times are changing, that clients have become very demanding, so they need to go through a proper, very needs-based kind of selling. A sales process that also involves really equipping the client with all the information they need before making the decision. And the competition is really high up there. If you don't do that, someone else will do that. And they'll walk away with that client. So I think things are changing. The industry is actually evolving for the better. The industry players, the insurance companies are also really crafting very good products. You know, you talked of an affordability issue, and I was like, I mean, Marley, we are in a business where medical insurance policies are starting from how much?
20 shillings a day or something.
Thank you. So 6,000 shillings a month. So really, I think in terms of even in terms of affordability, we are starting to really open up, you know, the market to be able to accommodate both, quote unquote, you know, mkulima mdogo, and also the person who may want that super high-end kind of cover, whether it's an international cover or so on.
So you've raised two things. There's the role of the agent or the intermediary here, broker agent, and you've said the new agent, and gladly you're one of them. You're not just selling to sell. You're not just selling to earn a commission and move away from the business. There's some level of conversation you want to have with your client, go into the details. So we can come back to that, and then there is the issue of affordability. How is it then that even with a 20 shillings product, we still do not take up insurance? It's a problem. What is it as a Kenyan that I am not getting? I'm not understanding? Is it how I market as an insurer from where I sit as an underwriter? Is it because of how I present the product to the market? Or is it a culture thing that we actually feel I'd rather go WhatsApp group? If someone gets sick, form a WhatsApp group quickly, changa, and money comes. And especially now, if someone dies, we are very quick on it. We'll get you money very quickly, turn around, or if someone is sick in the hospital. So what is it? Because we still have that. I get you a product at 20 shillings. You want me to go back to 1 shilling a day or free? What is it?
Marley, I think it's a mix of many things. But one of the reasons why I believe that insurance uptake is really low is because we've not yet gotten the gospel down to the people. We are coming up with fantastic products. Now, how we roll out that information down to the people is something else. You get? Because really, if we go out here and survey maybe the Kenyans, you know, who are working out here, and you ask them, did you know there was a private medical insurance cover that would cost? I mean, I think we'll get more no's than yeses.
Yes.
So in terms of, is the information getting out there, or are we just so busy within maybe the insurance companies crafting all these genius products? I think the rolling out is an issue. But also, I think insurance, when you look at your financial priorities, insurance just happens to be like
if it is there.
at the very bottom of it all. And let me tell you, I don't even think it's really a cost issue. So this afternoon, I had an engagement. I accompanied one of my mentees in the business to do a protection planning presentation. And the business lady whom we met, very high level. You can talk of someone who can afford a 6-figure kind of monthly premium into a proper protection plan. And you realize with a pretty, in terms of responsibilities, financial dependence, many, a spouse in place, but no life assurance product. She was actually hearing of an income protection plan for the first time today.
At a 6-figure, and I'm assuming they have a well-off job.
I'm guessing a very good, a profitable business.
Yes.
Kids literally enjoying like the best of what, say, Kenya has to give in terms of academics and all. But you actually realize that even at that high level, of, living, sort of like standards of living, sophistication, networks, literally, even at that high level, our Kenyan people aren't insured yet. You get? And for me, you realize that we're very good in packing up our investments portfolio. We've become very good even with the savings one. Everyone nowadays has an emergency fund. Everyone has their sinking funds.
And I'm glad we have gotten there. At least there's a savings culture there.
But when you get to the protection plans, you're asking them, hey, so medical covers, yes. You do have. Motor insurance, yes, they do have.
Mandatory.
But then you get to the income protection and they're looking at you like,
What is income protection, Shani? We need to even start there. Maybe even for the crew. What is income protection?
So, and I think this is where it's actually sad. That if our circles are also not even sure of what income protection is, we need to do better. Okay, but you're talking of, so I bring in 300K into my household each month. And that is what either my spouse needs to run our household in my absence. Like he would need a 300K paycheck to continue coming in from me, even if I were not present. Okay? So I would therefore need an income protection plan or a life insurance policy that is 10 times my annual income. So if annually I'm doing 3.6 million, so the 300 by 12, the 3.6 million, then I need a life insurance policy that is 10 times that. 10 years worth of my annual income, so 36M. Because what would happen, God forbid, in the unfortunate event of my demise, my spouse will be paid, 36 million shillings. He invests that in an instrument giving 10% net return. So 10% net return of the 36 million is 3.6 million shillings each year as interest. The 3.6 million divided over the 12 months of the year brings him his monthly paycheck of 300K. So I'm gone, but there's a check coming into my household month on month. And we still believe that we manifest that we live a long life.
That's the word, manifest.
Yes, that same income protection plan can also go to build generational wealth for my family. So
and just to note, I think generational wealth and the crew make sure we have this. We'll make sure that one of the conversations we tackle is generational wealth. This idea of I was here, and I have nothing to show of it. I
ate it all up.
We finished and we went. So I think that's a very good conversation that we'll need to tackle.
So sometimes seeing a Kenyan at that level, and of course you can see the light bulb moments happening during that conversation and the appreciation, and you realize that this same person if they had gotten this conversation even 10 years ago, they would have already taken up that commitment and probably finished their premium commitment by now. So, but I'm happy, Marley, we are in a space now where we are able now to curate content around this so that we get the conversation running, going, and hopefully even our colleagues in the business, we can start to see more TBT kind of podcasts mushrooming. I'm just happy to do my part in ensuring that the conversation on protection planning is ongoing.
Great. And that's the goal for this, really, as you say. That's the goal. Because we have how many agents in the industry? 10?
No, 10,000 thereabouts.
So even if we decide all these 10,000 people hit the market, everyone go, we'll definitely steal.
TikTok Live. We don't even need to hit the market. Just get on TikTok Live and we decide on, say, Thursday evening at 6 p.m., all of us are going live and just talking protection planning.
And Thursday is perfect. It's TBT Thursdays.
Thursdays.
So we can have one of those days where every one of us, anyone who speaks, works, knows insurance, we get on socials and we make sure that we put this information out
and
there.
We also humanize the experience. I think sometimes we're looked at as a very vampirish kind of industry. Guys, we are not. We are literally, I keep saying that if you ever see how insurance comes through for families at their moments, like literally at their lowest of moments, when there's something that always hits me, Marley, when it's maybe during a funeral. There are all these service providers, and everyone is just taking money from the family.
We'll not talk about the region. We'll not specific.
No, not even that. Like every service provider, it could be the house, service, the people selling you a coffin. Everyone is literally bringing a bill or an invoice
to you.
Pay us this much.
To the family,
It's only insurance that actually turns up with a check. Or a transfer, an RTGS or an EFT transfer done to the family. I hope we can get to show this other side of the business. We show you the human side of this industry and also build trust. Because trust clearly has been broken in the past. But, I think we can agree that things are changing for the better. So it's time that we as Kenyans also prioritize protection planning.
And you've mentioned the word trust. We have to... I was reading a book by Covey, Stephen, on the speed of trust, and what we need to do to get the trust out there. And the trust is not just in the individual relationships, but it's on how an organization speaks to its customers, in how the intermediaries speak to their customers, in the delivery of the promise. And so we can work that out so much so that we will not have to do so much. I'm trying to look at, there's a formula on the speed of trust and how to gain that. And if we don't create the trust, then it will take so long for us to get to that penetration that we keep talking about. And to also get us the money, because we also in need for the money. Insurance companies are in need for the money. And I think that's a truth that truth be told, that we don't tell people a lot. As an insurance company, you operate to make money. And part of it is through delivering a promise that you've given to a client. So if we don't get this conversation on trust working, then we will take too long to get there. And people will continue to suffer in different ways. When it comes to such things as funerals, I have had a lot of experience with the health business. When a client is in hospital, this is at 3 a.m., their child is sick, they don't have a shilling to their name, and they need to show up in hospital and they need to be admitted. And the hospital tells you, we need a bill, we need a deposit of 100,000. Where do you start? So the emotional aspect to it is there, and it's not just in medical, as you say, there's funeral, and there are many other aspects of this conversation. So trust, I think, is key, and hopefully, as we do this, and I'm glad we are doing this, we will bring that trust to the business and also to the people buying and the customers and the people watching of what we promise is delivered.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Marley, for our viewers today.
Yes.
Let's take them through the structure of the insurance industry. Because I think a lot of us mainly interact with the insurance company and the intermediaries. Who are these intermediaries, by the way? Sounds like a very conclave.
Yes,
by the way.
So we can start from there, the intermediaries. So we've mentioned this already. We have over 10,000 intermediaries. These are people who act on behalf of the insurance companies and have the information about the insurance covers. So these are people who will approach you and tell you, please buy this cover. They will walk you through the details. They will do the mediation between the insurance company and yourself to make sure that you have your cover and everything that is required. Then beyond the insurance intermediaries, we have the insurance companies, of course, and we have quite a number of them in Kenya today who are operating. Some have been operating for a while. There are new ones coming. So we have the insurance company, and in the industry we call them underwriters. So the people who take up your policy and underwrite. And underwrite is basically looking at the risk, making sure that it's a viable risk and giving you a policy for that. And then who else do we have in the industry? We have brokers. So brokers form part of the intermediaries.
So bank assurance also.
Very good. Channels. So we have bank assurance intermediaries. So brokers, bank assurance, and independent agents like yourself. Who else do we have in the industry? We have the regulator. The Insurance Regulatory Authority. So this is a government institution that makes sure it keeps us all in check, make sure that the policies, the products that we put in the market are viable and it's the right thing. And we have the...
So you've probably heard of our regulator. We call them the IRA. Okay, so that is the body that puts a spotlight to ensure things are going right in the industry.
And it's a key role. It's a key role that is there. And then we have the Association of Kenya Insurers, commonly known as AKI. So all the insurance companies come into this body. And the role of AKI has been, and I think they've played a very good role to date, is to create that penetration. So the goal, they even have an award ceremony for intermediaries. By the way, did you qualify for AKI awards?
Not a small thing. I've even qualified for the 2025 awards. What are you talking about?
Nice. Okay.
So now, a little bragging moment. I hope the producer will put like a spotlight on me at this point. So I love the AKI awards. If you've been to AKI, the energy there is, you go to AKI once, you never want to miss. They're like our Oscars or the Grammy Awards for our industry. And it's basically a place where you come to cheer, your team. So there's always this team spirit where you want to scream louder than your competitors across the aisle. But yes, I love the AKI Awards. This year I walked away with the #2 medical insurance agent of the year. And also number 34 life insurance agent in the country. So it was my very first time to win an accolade at the AKI Awards. I'm hoping next year I'll also be on the podium. I think it's exciting, for you to just be doing your normal day-to-day kind of work and you realize, oh my God, so whatever I'm doing is also being...
It's recognized
at that level. And you're getting onto that stage with people who've been there for 15 years, 20-something years. Oosh, it's such an honor.
And it creates the credibility and the trust that you're talking about. That you didn't just come in it for the money. You've brought in clients, and not just one or two, many, for you to qualify for that. And you serviced them well, because there's also an award on retention and things like that. So you didn't just collect money, took off. You have a reputation to keep. So the moment you're put in a newspaper as an AKI award winner, then you also have to live up to that hype. So that is AKI. And then we have College of Insurance. There's a whole college of insurance
Academy.
people.
Yes.
And a big one.
Yes.
And I would actually encourage young people as you set goals for career opportunities.
Yes.
That it's not just the standard courses that we know.
The CPAs,
yes.
the whatnot.
Yeah.
I mean, go to the College of Insurance in South Sea.
Yeah.
Do a certificate of proficiency. We call that an executive certificate of proficiency in insurance. Takes about 2 weeks.
2 weeks
to clear.
Yeah.
Very intensive course. Classwork.
Yeah.
Basically, for about how many days are those? 8 days you are in full-time class. Then 2 days of examinations. But fantastic. You live there with an appreciation of what the insurance industry is all about. And after that, now you're able to practice the IRA, the regulator. Remember what you mentioned? Then you're able to apply for your license and you become a licensed insurance intermediary.
So this idea of the insurance people, like that's the last job. Like after you've gone through all the jobs, you've been job hunting, you don't have a job, unaweza uza insurance. It's not that. It can be professional. You can go to school, you can study. It can be something that you plan to work with and actually prosper in. And at 3% penetration, there's a whole 97 opportunity.
Can I tell you something, Marley?
Yeah.
One of my, I wouldn't call it a regret, but one of my I wish moments is that I wish I learned about insurance when I was in college. Because I know even if someone had come and spoken to me about it, or this being a career that I could pursue, or if I had seen a cousin maybe who had gotten into the business and been successful with it, I probably would have tried this from very early on. So that is usually my I wish moment, because I got into the business when I turned 33.
Yes.
I'm about to clock 5 years in the business.
Okay, we've quickly done the math.
Yes, do the math. Age has got up. But I can tell you. And even though starting off was tough, it was T for tough. The last 5 years have been very fulfilling years, impactful.
Yes.
You're free. Your mind dreams. You see yourself build a business from pretty much like nothingness to something. You see your team grow. You start running a payroll of like 7 people, and you're like, hey,
nice.
I can do this. So how I wish that even younger people, that even we at home, we can talk to our younger siblings and show them that there's actually a promise in a career as an insurance professional. You come into the business and you realize, oh my, there are insurance agents, who earn like in 7 figures
they are.
month on month. Like this is not a one-time kind of tender thing.
No.
But literally, your top performing agents are taking home even higher than your favorite CEO out here in town.
Exactly, yeah.
And you're like, what? Like, yet this, and it's the thing I was telling you about the conversation around our career, or our industry.
Yeah.
It's so bottled. We never get to hear these success stories. So when someone paints for you the story of an insurance agent, you're thinking it's the Kayang boy with dusty shoes and he's sweating.
In a tie.
And in a black suit.
And a nice folder.
And he's looking so desperate. No, that's not it.
Agreed.
And if we come across Marley, so our role also is to, if we come across that younger person, and if that is maybe how they strike, how they come off, I think it's also now our time to also mentor the younger, the new rookies in the business.
Oh, Charlene, I'm getting old, I'm mentoring.
Yes, it's time now to mentor them because, I keep saying, this 5 years into the business, I'm actually hand-holding agents as we speak. And you actually realize you have a lot to teach them, just from what you've gone through from your own experience, from what you've learned so far in terms of the sales skills that you have. There's just so much that we can do.
Oh, and if you can sell insurance, my friend, you can sell anything. That's the sales skill you need. If you want a sales skill, then go for insurance. Okay, so there is the College of Insurance. So please, by all means, if able, subscribe to that. And then we have bodies like the Association of Brokers.
Yes,
AIBK,
insurance brokers.
Insurance brokers. So brokers have an association for themselves, where they come together,
yes,
they have their issues resolved, bring up changes in the insurance industry, consult with government bodies if things need to happen. And there's an opposite of the same, which is for the agents.
Yes, we have. Okay, there are I think I would say there are a number for insurance agents.
Yes.
I'm part of what we call ACPIA, led by our chairman, Mr. Clifford Ocheng.
As you've said, you can mention names, and we are together. When you say Charlene, when you say Mama Bima, it's clear that you're not just operating in a silo. There's some form of an organization in this. So ACPIA, AIBK, and the rest. Please make sure you join these things as an agent, but also for the audience to know that this is not just an industry of sorts. We are clear, we are organized. And Association of Kenya Insurance, AIBK, ACPIA, all those bring us together nicely. And we also have conferences that help with this. I'm feeling there's an association I've missed. What is this? IIK. Is it IIK? Insurance Institute of Kenya. Yes. Yeah, so that's also part of the bodies that form the insurance. So that's the bigger structure of the insurance industry. It's not a small siloed business. Thank you.
The layer that all Kenyans don't get to see when you think of the insurance industry. Reinsurers, tell us.
Reinsurance business. So so we needed to first understand what is insurance.
Yes, to understand
then we go to reinsurance. So you have a risk, it is covered. So what we are saying is we will return whatever you have taken up as covered into the state or form that it was, against damage and the like. So today, if you have a car, we'll use that because it's a simple one. We will take up a cover, whether a comprehensive cover. Please,
not third party.
Take up a comprehensive cover. So today you have an accident and you need your car repaired. So we'll take it back to the form that it was because you paid for insurance. Then there's the bigger element of reinsurance. So as insurance companies, we also insure ourselves. So that in case the damages are beyond our scope, we also have a company that will take care of that. And we have several of those companies in Kenya as well. And hopefully in time, as we grow, we'll be able to bring the professionals to sit and help us explain the details of all this insurance, reinsurance, and the likes.
I think that would be really exciting. Very few Kenyans probably know the role of reinsurers. And, sometimes you get questions like, where do, if you're talking, say, of a high value kind of life policy, you can already feel the pushback like, no, this sounds too good to be true. How can one company absorb this entire risk? But I think it's because a lot of people actually do not know that the larger chunk of the risk, in insurance business actually sits with the reinsurer.
Because they have the collected figure of all the insurance organizations. Okay, so I think we've covered the whole scope of the structure of the industry. Okay. Any other thing that is burning that would set this ball rolling? So when you read a book, there's the definitions. You start with the definitions before we get into the details. So any other thing that we need to define?
You know what? If our viewers would like, if they feel there's something we left out, they can drop us those questions. Guys, feel free if there's a topic that you feel is burning that you'd want us to discuss at the TBT podcast. We are open to hearing your views. Please write to us. Our contacts are down here. Reach out to us, and we will definitely curate content and responses for you.
Please, and take the opportunity to vent. I think I see a lot of social media posts when a claim is declined. Someone goes online and trash an insurance company. Please take this opportunity to vent, and we'll want to also answer some of those questions, clarify, because some of these things that we deny or decline to pay, it's purely because of a communication barrier. Policy was not communicated properly.
Yes.
Terms and conditions were not there, and we have a lot of those.
Marley,
Yeah.
and especially when it comes to the terms and conditions,
Yeah.
do you see the role of the policy holders? Because I feel that as Kenyans, the buyers of insurance, we've really taken a step back.
Yeah.
We don't do our part. We are not being accountable.
Yes.
We like to just throw the shit to the insurance agents and say, oh, my agent did not tell me. Yet probably the terms and conditions were availed. Let me tell you something, Marley. You should see the kind of emails I send to my clients.
Yes.
At the, I always stress, I need you to read the terms and conditions, and then we do a proper Q&A.
Yes.
And let me tell you, a client who understands that the terms and conditions of any policy, that is what we call sticky business. That is someone who comes into that agreement or into that contract with shared accountability.
Yes,
by the time they sign on the dotted line, they understand, that this is actually what I've taken up.
Yes.
So I also feel it's not just failure on the part of the industry.
Good.
It's not just failure on the part of the insurance agents. There's also a portion of blame to be apportioned to our policyholders. You guys, you need to start reading your terms and conditions. That is what really goes into that contract.
Yeah.
Do your part also.
Though in time we'll and I'm sure we'll get this feedback that our terms and conditions are very, very long. Yeah, it's
no, they're not in font 6.
It's long.
They're in font 12.
So that's the problem. So but I agree. There's definitely the role of the policy, and there's something of this that has come to my mind which pains me. I'm like, why is it that insurance is the only industry where a client feels they have to determine the terms? They say, no, Mimi, I want my cover for all those things. Give me a 10 million. And I want to pay you in installments, or I want to pay you. So I always have that. I feel the pain. I'm like, why is it that clients feel that this is the industry where we have to dictate?
Yeah.
Because, and I give these examples to many of my clients. If I go to a supermarket today, and I find, I go to the aisle section, I get bread. Bread is 50 shillings.
Yeah.
That is in the morning. I go to work. I've budgeted. I am going to spend 50 shillings to buy bread. I come back in the evening and I find they've written there 55 shillings. As much as I'm feeling something, I'll have to fork out 55 shillings to the counter and pay. And also, I will not tell them, because I've been shopping in this supermarket my whole life. You guys need to figure, go to your records, look at my M-Pesa payments, you need to give me this bread for free. So I feel like there's that in the industry, in our industry. I get a lot of that. Someone wants to determine the premium. They want to say, but I've been paying this for so long, I've not claimed. So you guys need to reduce this figure. So there's that. And I like that we can get to the role of the customer. And hopefully we can have a customer. I hope not